What's up, everybody? This is Mountain Man, and as you can see up at the top, it says today's video is about bullying, the long-term results, and the effect it has on everyday life and relationships. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to say that I have been bullied several years. I've been bullied for several years. I've been a victim of bullying, and from a first-hand standpoint, it doesn't feel good. Now, you guys probably can't see them very well, but I've tried cutting, and I've tried to commit suicide for, I don't know, I think 7 attempts of suicide. Bullying is wrong. I'm putting it out there. Don't bully people. It doesn't matter if you're fighting your own personal demons. It doesn't matter if something bad is going on in your personal life. Treat other people with respect. Treat people in a way that you want to be treated. I can't express that enough. Here's a little story that truly happened when I was in 2nd grade. I hadn't been having the best day back then, on that day. And I was trying to do my homework, and I still have anger issues because of it. I still have anger issues because of that time of my life. The teacher and several students were bullying me. They were laughing at me, throwing stuff at me. They were throwing textbooks, pencils, razors, freaking glass. And finally, I just couldn't take it anymore. The dam broke. I picked up my desk, I threw it across the room. I yelled several curse words, and I went over to the table where there were 5 or 6 of the students that were bullying me, and the teacher was sitting there as well. I went underneath the table, picked it up, and threw it out of the classroom door. I threw it down the hall, I threw it outside the school, and I destroyed it. Now, 2 weeks, it took, I got suspended for 2 weeks. When I came back, nobody would look at me. Nobody would go near me. And I didn't quite understand why people were doing that back then, but I soon realized that it was because of my outburst. And I never would have had to do that. I never would have had that outburst if people hadn't been bullying. And, Now, I know that you guys probably don't really care, but I'm not the only one that has been bullied, and that's obvious. I'm not the only person in my family that has been bullied. My little sister, her name is Elena. She's not my blood sister, but I consider her my sister. She's a very close person. Now, I I don't mean to condone anything, but I don't mean to break anything, like break confidentiality, but she was abused and bullied by kids in her school. 5 boys. 5 boys. And I was powerless to stop it. We don't even live in the same country. We met online, and I've been her older brother. The reason why I put that in air quotes is because we're not actually like blood related, but I consider her my sister. I truly believe that I am meant to be her older brother. Anyway, I'm digressing on the subject here, but I was powerless to stop it. I had to literally sit by, and just listen to things that she told me that they did. They would throw things at her. They would hunt her down after school and beat the crap out of her. They even sent to her house a box with a freaking razor inside of it with a little inscribed "Kill yourself" on it. There's no worse form of bullying than that. And I honestly, in one way that I've been able to cope with it, the reason why I'm still here today, and that I didn't actually die or kill myself, is because one way that I cope is I help other people with depression. I have PTSD. I have ADHD, PTSD, I have bipolar, and I have successfully helped 6 people. 6 people stop trying to commit suicide. I have successfully helped them. And I honestly, truly...
Stand together. Look into each other's souls.
One second. Shut up!
All you need to do.
Quiet down! Shut up, Connor.
Man.
I'm in the middle of recording. God. I'm tired of people bullying me. I'm tired of people bullying other people. People need to treat people with respect. And most of all, other people have feelings, not just you. Other people have feelings too. Can't express it enough. When I first got into school, first grade, automatically, right off the bat, I was nonstop bullied. For months, I was bullied, and nobody cared what happened to me. Nobody cared at all, whatsoever. nobody cared. I stopped eating. I would never leave my room. It got to the point where the principal said that if I missed one more day of school, I was going to be kicked out. And, you know, I stopped eating. I stopped eating in big proportions. Like, yeah, I would have maybe a small slice of toast or maybe an apple every few days, but I basically lost the will to live. And then a girl named Brooke, I'm not going to say her full name, because I don't want to break any more confidentiality rules. Her name is Brooke. She was also a girl who was bullying me, but she started to notice the changes that I had begun to have. I was growing incredibly scrawny. My facial features were like droopy and everything like that, and I looked like I was basically the Walking Dead, pretty much. I had lost the will to live, and every day, whenever I would go to school, if I decided to go, I wouldn't talk to anybody. During recess, I would just go around to the back corner, where like the two sides of the buildings met, and I'd just sit there. It was really dark back there, and I thought nobody could see me, but everybody could. And I would just sit there curled up into a little ball and just wait for the bell to ring. I completely stopped. I just stopped doing anything. And she came up to me and she took my hand and said, "Come on, let's go play," you know, and I just couldn't stand it. And I pulled out of her grasp and I curled back up. And then she pulled harder, and I finally just, and I just blindly, like, with completely void of emotion, I just followed her. And she started being nice to me. And, I figured that it would only last a couple days, but no, she did it for pretty much the remainder of the school year, which second quarter hadn't even ended yet. I just, and she became the closest friend that I ever had. And but when I left, when I was forced to leave, the bullying started up again. So yeah, stop bullying. Can't express that enough. I'm all out of time for this episode. I'll see you guys in the next one. Mountain Man out.